Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I thought we could talk a little bit about the future of the DC Universe. Well, as many of you know, since Discovery merged with Warner Brothers, new CEO David Zaslav has been really busy taking a hatchet to nearly everything. Clearly, there's a massive effort on his part to restructure the company, and one particular area of interest for Zaslav is getting the DC Universe back on track. Now, let's be clear, the overall franchise has had some big hits, but to be fair, it hasn't enjoyed the consistent success that their main competitor, Marvel Studios, seems to get with almost every movie. Sure, Marvel hit some bumps in the road overall, but they have been clearly dominating the box office for a really long time, and you know Warner Brothers wants a piece of that. Now, many have said that Warner Brothers needs their very own Kevin Feige, a singular voice that oversees everything in the DC universe, and according to a new report from The Hollywood Reporter, Zaslav might have somebody in mind. Now, the person he is talking about is not somebody that I actually expected, and that would be Joker Director Todd Phillips. Now, what THR is reporting is that Zaslav has indeed asked Phillips to, and I quote, do more in the DC universe, and potentially act as an advisor, although the service does note that Phillips would not serve in an executive capacity, so I don't think this is really a Kevin Feige type role. Now, they did go on to say that sources added that Todd Phillips isn't an expert on the DC universe. He just has a great rapport with Zaslav, and that could lead to new collaborations. Now, in case you don't know, Walter Hamada currently oversees all the production of DC Universe and other DC projects, but the word has been, like Toby Emmerich, he's in the process of making an exit. This really shouldn't surprise anybody given a major merger. This is pretty typical behavior, but it does give us some indication of some plans in the post-Hamada DC world. Now, apparently Zaslav is planning on reorganizing Warner Brothers into 3 distinctive branches, and for us comic book fans, the good news is one of those will be a DC movie branch. So it's going to be really important to Zaslav to find the right leadership to run this area of the company. Now, let's be really clear, the Joker was a massive success, earning over $1 billion even with its R rating, and it did have a relatively low budget, giving it a massive return on investment for the studio. It was also nominated for 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, with Joaquin Phoenix walking away with the Best Actor award. All these are the kind of things that this branch of the DC universe that Zaslav is trying to build, he clearly wants to do over and over and over again. Now, whether Phillips takes the job, we'll have to wait and see. If I'm being honest, I did like the Joker, but I really don't know if I want him in charge of all DC projects. Striking a balance between the serious tone and the nature of comic books I think is pretty important to make these movies work. And the Joker, to me, really worked. Really because of his direction, but also because Joaquin Phoenix's take on Arthur Fleck. I don't know if that's repeatable over and over again, and that very serious tone that the movie struck might not be what they need to do multiple films per year. There's got to be some levity in some of the work, and there needs to be some variation. And because Phillips really doesn't know his DC Comics material, I don't know if he's the best guy. Regardless of what you think of Kevin Feige, he is a longtime Marvel Comics guy and knows the material inside and out. I think this gives some insight into what will and won't work, as well as being able to make these characters accessible and relatable on screen and still stay true to the spirit of the comic, making everybody happy. I think that knowledge is probably a requirement, and I'm pretty unsure if Todd Phillips has that kind of background, but we'll have to wait and see. So until we get more news, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Todd Phillips taking up a Kevin Feige-like position over at Warner Brothers? Or, if not, who would you like to see be in charge of all things DC under the new Warner Brothers Discovery banner? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.